let's discuss the relationship between NFTs and our industry. There are negatives and positives to everything in the world. It's not black and white though. There's a lot of gray area. Nothing is inherently good or inherently bad. Don't hate me. Okay, cool. So before we jump into discussing how NFTs are related to our industry, I just want to make clear my association with NFTs. I am an NFT artist. I have sold NFTs, and I will put a link in the description below to show what I've sold. Complete transparency here. I am going to have some bias in this video. I think there are lots of positives for NFTs, but there are also very valid arguments to why they have a negative impact. And the environmental concern, I'm not getting into technicals. Lots of things are up for debate, including the environmental one. Don't really want to go down political routes here. There's also a lot of scams, and that's, there's a lot of scams going on, and a lot of people got burned, and that's awful. And I myself nearly fell victim to 2 NFT scams. So it's not all rosy. NFTs, I can see that there's a problem there. There's a lot of criminal activity going on within this space. It's been found that there sometimes is money laundering. Those things happen outside of NFTs. They happen with global banks. They happen with art galleries. They happen with politicians. So NFTs are just a new space that's unregulated, but there's also a huge positive to the democratization of intellectual property. We're going to discuss this and how it can be a huge benefit to designers, motion graphics artists, and just our industry as a whole. So let's discuss this bit. If you don't understand how blockchain technology works, I would advise you learn a little bit about that before watching this video and rendering an opinion about what I'm about to say. It's good to have a fundamental understanding of how the technology works before you can really make a valid opinion on the technology itself. Now, take away all the nonsense with NFTs, the stupid collections, the scams, and let's look at the technology at its core. So when you mint something on the blockchain, there's a record of that. So there are several blockchains: Ethereum, Tezos, Solana. Let's say that I had a client, let's say 10 years from now, when NFTs are used as a technology to encapsulate, wrap our IP before we give it to a client. Let's just say the scenario. So I'm making an ad for a client. I turn it into a token. But before I turn it into a token, I can write the parameters of how the client is allowed to use this when I send it to them. This could be a game changer for anyone who is a professional content maker and makes content for specifically commercial clients. You provide all the content to your client. You know that you're providing some advertising to the client. So in the smart contract, let's say you can write into the smart contract, if someone clicks this ad and they purchase an item, I get 1% royalty. That can be done automatically. You have to check in with the client, how many have you sold? And this is all a really interesting way to look at how you can tokenize something, give it to a client, and you could automatically see how you're performing through a non-fungible token. People are looking into these things. If you're a copywriter and you write a document and you can say it expires in, 5 months, so the client can't take bits from that and resell it. And this happens constantly with publishers, by the way, and advertisers. They will get designers and artists and copywriters in, and they'll reuse their material, and they won't tell them or give them a royalty for using it. But the work done on that is now lost because you don't know what an agency or publisher does with that work. That's a game changer. We can write in parameters around how our IP, intellectual property, is used. And I think there's a huge argument for using NFT technology in this way for professional means. It's far off that point, but it takes away a lot of middle people within these scenarios. And I think there's a huge use case here. So I think, beyond the ridiculousness of NFTs where they are at the moment, and I think it's very immature. I think there's a lot of silliness around it, and there's a lot of kind of pseudo hype, fake hype around these collections. But there is utility in how the technology could work. beyond video games and all that kind of entertainment stuff, how can we use them professionally? How can we identify how the client is using the content we're making for them and delivering? There's a case here for the client becomes confident that the videos and the content you're making them is helping them sell or helping them achieve their business goals and objectives. They're more likely to jump on board with this because maybe the fixed fee can go down and maybe the royalty of the content meeting certain goals and objectives can go up. So kind of let's maybe take a step back and see how NFTs can be used professionally. I appreciate that maybe this mightn't be the most popular video right now as NFTs get a lot of hate, but yeah, let's keep an open mind. Let's see where this technology takes us. Unfortunately, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to grow. Whether you like it or not, this is just the case. It's always worth having an understanding of the new technologies that we are going to face and have to understand and learn about. You don't want to be left behind, ever. And NFTs will grow and embed themselves somehow into the content we're making. I guarantee you a lot of designers watching this video will be doing something that is blockchain related in the next several years. It just seems to be this technology that is growing and growing, and whether you hate it or love it, or whether you think it's bad or good, it doesn't really matter. You need to have an awareness of the emerging technologies around you so you have an opportunity to grow your career and spot the opportunities here and there. I just want to say thank you for watching this. Comment below, let's start an open discussion. Let's be civil. Let's not just hate on it for the sake of it. And if you're going to make an argument, make sure it's well researched, because the technology has changed. There are upgrades happening in the blockchain where it's not using as much energy. Any case and argument you make against or for has, a reasonable and well-researched rationale behind it. Thank you for watching this video, and goodbye.